Hi ladies, this is an update on my postpartum depression. So I did previous vlogs on signs and symptoms of postpartum depression and why not to suffer in silence and whatnot, and my history of postpartum depression. And then I did a vlog of me starting to fall into what was starting to be a serious postpartum depression. Because I know the signs and symptoms, for one, I'm a nurse, a registered nurse, and for two, I've suffered it twice in the past. So when I started, my baby was born at 32 weeks. I've did a vlog on that also, and she was an infertility baby, so I did a vlog on that also. Anybody suffering polycystic ovarian syndrome, endometriosis, any fertility problems, I did a vlog on that and whatnot. So she was a planned baby, and it took us over 2 years to conceive her, and she was born at 32 weeks and had to stay in the NICU and whatnot, and that was so hard. And when she first came home, I was extremely happy and no sign of postpartum depression or whatnot. But after she was about 6 weeks old, I started noticing that my mood started changing. I started feeling more anxious and having panic attacks, and I wasn't enjoying things that I usually enjoyed, and I felt distant from the baby, where my husband would usually have to do most of the work. I cut back on nursing, so I didn't even feel like pumping anymore. So my baby is now being majority bottle fed, but I still breastfeed her twice a day. Well, as soon as I started feeling that I was falling into a postpartum depression, because I know how serious it is, not only because I'm a nurse, but because I have suffered it really, really, really bad. I had postpartum depression with a little bit of postpartum psychosis many, many years ago, with my first 18 years ago, when postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis was not recognized. Postpartum depression and baby blues and postpartum psychosis. Postpartum baby blues is where you're 2 to 3 weeks maximum. You cry, your hormones go up and down and whatnot, but then you may be a little bit tired and it affects your moods and whatnot, but you fall back into your regular mood. With postpartum depression, you start not you just start feeling anxious all the time, etc., etc. I'm not going to get into it because I want to make this short, but you start feeling anxious, you may lose your appetite, you can't sleep, you're sleeping too much, you feel detached from the baby, etc., etc. And postpartum psychosis is a more rare condition. Postpartum depression can lead to postpartum psychosis if postpartum depression is untreated, or you may just develop it together. Postpartum psychosis is where you start to have over obsessive thoughts of things where you feel like you want to harm yourself or your baby. You start having very negative, dangerous thoughts, etc., etc. That's much more rare, but postpartum depression is not. And anyway, so back to me and my update on my postpartum depression. I'm not fully better yet, but because I seek help very, very soon. Soon as I started to feel postpartum depression, I like this when I got help right away. If you're a first time mom, second time mom, third-time mom, I mean, you've never had postpartum depression, go through my vlogs. I don't have many of them, and look at my postpartum depression vlogs, and you can watch them and know the signs and symptoms, and please get help. So because I already recognized my symptoms that I was having before, I went and I seeked help right away. And I'm not one that's too keen on taking medication right off the bat. So I like to do therapy, see a psychologist, etc. Talk with family members, friends, whatnot. Try to do meditation and breathing exercises, and etc. etc. But I had to be put on medication because I knew my body, and I knew it was falling into a serious depression like my first. I knew the feelings, and I did not want to it to escalate higher and me to not be able to take care of the baby and feel a lot worse. So I did go on an antidepressant, and I won't be on it forever. Once I start to get everything under control, I'll slowly come off the antidepressant, because I don't have any other mental conditions where I need an antidepressant besides postpartum depression. I also do suffer post-traumatic stress disorder from a serious car accident that I broke my neck, that I did another vlog on that. But the antidepressant, I started it on the 30th of October, and it took about a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks now, and this is the second day, and I'm starting to feel myself. I do not look the greatest, as you can tell, but I haven't did my eyebrows. I haven't did time for myself, but tomorrow my husband is going to watch the kids, and I'm going out for dinner with my friend, because you need to get out. Like, don't feel guilty to get out with your friends, just to have like a girl's time, like dinner, maybe shopping, whatnot. And I'm gonna go do my hair. I'm gonna go get my eyebrows done, and whatnot. And I'm starting to feel better. And the reason why I'm feeling better, ladies, is because I got help right away. And please, if you're suffering, get help right away, because if you don't, you're just going to feel terrible forever. And not forever, I'm sorry, but you're just going to feel terrible and terrible and terrible, and the anxiety and the depression, and whether you're suffering anxiety, panic attacks, depression, or all together, is going to escalate. So please get help, and trust me, once you get help, you'll feel better. I'm feeling better now. I'm not totally back to myself, but you know what? I am feeling better. And you know what? This can happen to anybody. I am married, have a very supportive husband. I'm a registered nurse. I do not practice anymore, but my life is not upside down. I do suffer consequences from an accident, breaking my neck, but I do have a lot of support. And my baby was planned, and it took us over 2 years to conceive her. And I still, after having my miracle baby, fell into a postpartum depression. And with my last baby, I never fell into a postpartum depression. And so please, ladies, get help. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll answer them. Okay, take care. Bye.